Welcome to Infinity Capital, everyone. My name is Raj. So, we're going to talk about Amara Raja batteries in the auto ancillary segment. So, batteries are a part of the auto ancillary segment. So, this is a 13,000 crore market cap, mid cap company. It's one of the most prestigious companies in the battery segment in India. And Amara Raja in the past has made a lot of money for its shareholders. And once we do a brief overview of the company, we will know that it has more potential to make money going forward. So, little snippet about the company. The company was formed in 1985. It's one of the largest manufacturers of lead acid batteries. For both industrial as well as automotive applications in the Indian battery industry. So they have, industrial and automotive batteries are exported to 32 countries around the globe. So basically, they are actually exporting to 44 countries. So when we come on their website and we will check, so their global presence is in 44 countries. All right, and company was established in 1985. So these blue dots are their branch offices. The green dots are the plants. So they have the plants in the southern part of India, corporate office, registered office, so on and so forth. So they had some agreement with Johnson Control, which was terminated. So that was in the past. So currently they are a dominant player in the UPS tower segment and solar energy storage. So basically, they provide these services to UPS applications. All right. So basically, it is required by ITES companies' data centers. That is usually where the UPS preferred battery. So these are this companies the preferred battery supplier for UPS applications. Okay, and they also provide a significant amount of their products to forklift truck markets. So basically, those are run on batteries. All right. So in the rail segment, the company has gained its market share in the VRLA battery. So they are catering to a host of sectors, right? In the international space, they commissioned the largest lead acid energy storage system. Okay, so that is something noteworthy. All right. So in terms of expansion, they set up their third battery manufacturing unit at Chittoor. So it will be operational by in the end of 21. Then it expanded its four-wheeler and two-wheeler capacity. So four-wheeler has gone from 2.5 million to 12 million. Two-wheeler capacity has gone from 4 million to 19 million units. The significant capacity expansion has happened, right? So they also plan to set up a acid recycling plant of 1 lakh tons, with an estimated cost of 280 crores. So this expansion has already begun. It will be operational by FY21, and by the end. They are foraying in the lithium-ion battery package for electric cars also. So launch of advanced stamp grid technology. So they have around 30,000 plus Amazon and Power Zone retailers. So this is how they basically sell their products. So overall, a very high quality company. It's been in the business for a very long time. They understand the markets pretty well, and they've been doing good business, expanding their company. So been doing pretty well. They have around 400 crores of bank loan facility. So I usually like to come and check, what is the long-term, short-term rating. So they have a CRISIL rating of AA plus and A1. It's good rating. It's always good to know, what sort of ratings the company enjoys. So let's do a check on the shareholding pattern. So promoters hold around 28%, FII is 21%, DI is 13%. See, this good amount of FII, DII holdings in the company goes to signify the quality of the company, right? Public holds around 37-38% of the shares, right? There has been a major block deal wherein Clarios held for 24% stake in the company. So they have diluted 10% stake in Amara Raja, right? And this has been bought over by your Ghisalo Master Fund and Morgan Stanley Integrated Core Strategies. So basically this is the bulk deal that has happened. So your Wisconsin-based Clarios held 24% stake. So after they've sold 10% of their stake. So now they hold 14% of the stake. So important thing to know. Many a times in the market, retail investors get confused as to, somebody sold 10% stake in the company, which means that, the shares will fall. What you have to understand, guys, that for every seller, there is a buyer. If the company is constantly selling the shares in the open market, then those shares have been absorbed by, regular people. However, if there is a bulk deal, it's a different story altogether. So it's not negative if the company is selling 10-15% of stake in the company. It's not a negative thing. So something that you have to keep in mind, right? Now let's go on to their cash flows. They generated around 800 crores of cash flow from operations, very healthy. There has been no significant equity dilution. When we look at the standalone numbers also, no significant equity dilution has happened in the company. All right. And no borrowings, only 81 crores. That's nothing. They have investments of around 280 crores. And cash, they have around 176 crores of cash on the books. So pretty healthy balance sheet. And when we look at the standalone numbers, you'll see that the gross block has increased from 1800 crores to 2700 crores. So when we were reading in the past about their expansion, so this is where the money has gone in expansion. And because of that, the depreciation has also increased. So because of the expansion, a lot of money gets caught up, in expansion, in factory. And then once you've put up plant or machinery, it starts depreciating also. So that weighs on the profitability of the company. So once the new factories are operational at 60-70% operational efficiency, that's when the sales will start kicking in, and you will see meaningful sales and profits coming in from the new new factories. So something to keep in mind currently. On a profit and loss statement, if you'll see that, their sales have been constantly increasing. As a matter of fact, their sales have increased as compared to last year as well. Okay. Their margins have also become better. From a profit and loss perspective, since their depreciation is gone higher, that is the reason it is weighing on the profits. So, once the new factories become operational, these profits will come in at higher clip, So this is something to take note of. However, irrespective of that, you will see that the company has made 647 crores of profits this year. Profits last year were also higher as compared to 2019. So these numbers are extremely encouraging. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, if you will see, March numbers are pretty high, sales are high, profits are higher too. December numbers are also high, profits are higher too. So there is 2 quarters of traction in the company, and that is the reason I got interested in watching this stock. Let's do a PE analysis. So from a PE perspective, you'll see that the stock has a median PE, an average median PE for the past 5 years of 27. Currently, the stock is trading at around 20. So we have good upside available in this stock. And if you see these bars, these are EPS. So the EPS has also started rising. So once we see the lockdown easing up, cars being sold, and once they're by the next 2 quarters, their new factories will also be operational. So those will also add into the sales and profit. So something to keep note of. The timeline for this investment will be at least 2 quarters, so 6 months at least. All right. let's look at the technical charts. If we look at the monthly chart first, this stock had a beautiful run. If you see, you know, this stock was consolidating between 2008. It was just consolidating within this range, 2008 and 2011, post which it just, you know, it had a beautiful run of some 600 700%, right? So after that, the stock is now consolidating at these levels. Stock is consolidating, and there has been a meaningful correction in the stock price. So basically the stock has gone down by 70%, and then the stock made a quick comeback. So from the COVID lows, stock went up by 200%, and now it has seen an interim correction. So let's look at the weekly chart. What do we have on the weekly chart here? This particular week, this volume is basically the bulk deal volume. All right. Now, what kind of trade is possible in Amara Raja right now? So if you notice, this stock went very quickly. It went up by like 120%, you know, since between March and September, very quickly. Huge demand, stock went up. Then it sort of started consolidating within this area. This is the area in which it started consolidating. So this is the area of interest. Why this is area of interest is because this is where some sort of consolidation happened, and then the stock went up. So the stock is back into this zone. So this is the area of interest. This is where I expect the stock to start consolidating and then start moving up, right? So what is the trade? The trade is basically, let's go on the daily chart. If you look here, okay, this was the area where it was consolidating earlier. This is the area, just a second guys. This is the area where it was consolidating earlier, and it is back into this zone. So the 200-day moving average is sideways, 50 days trending downwards, right? So 200 days moving sideways, which means the trend as of now is sideways, because since July last year, the price was here and the stock is back to that price. That is the reason the 200-day is moving sideways. However, since the stock is back into this zone, we have a great trading opportunity here. So what is the trade here? We'll be looking to accumulate the stock in this zone. This is the zone that we will be looking to accumulate the stock in, between 700 and 780. This is the zone to start accumulating the stock, right? And the bulk deal has happened around this price, right? So my guess is I don't see it going down by more than 15-20% at max. 15% at max. That is the downside risk in the stock. However, there has been a meaningful correction in the stock, and the earnings are coming in. The earnings are pretty good. So I think the correction is done. Correction is done, and we can start seeing the stock moving up from here. Right, so this is the area between 780 and 700 is the area where I will be accumulating the stock. And what would be our target for this thing? So on a short term, if we are buying here, we should be expecting it to at least go up by 30%, so previous high. And you know, so this is the minimum that I'm looking at, 30 to 35%. Beyond that, we'll have to wait and watch as to what sort of earnings are coming in. If the earnings are coming in at a higher rate, sales are climbing and the earnings are coming in at a higher rate, we will hold it, you know, for more meaningful gains. What you have to also keep in mind, guys, that the battery cycle is not as similar as to the car cycle. So if you buy a new car, the car comes fitted with a battery which has a life of around 4 to 5 years. So you know, if you see certain traction in new car sales, you will see the sales you know, in batches. So whoever has bought their car in 2016-17, now they will be basically changing the batteries of their cars. Right, so the sales don't really replicate the sales of auto sales. the sales in battery manufacturers don't replicate the auto sales. But most people might think that okay, 100 cars were sold, so 100 batteries will be needed. Not necessarily, guys. 100 cars were sold, 100 batteries may be needed probably after 5 years. So one has to take that into consideration when, if you want to buy this stock for long term, you have to take that into consideration as well. So this is a very high quality company. This breakdown has only happened because of COVID. Otherwise, there was just like a 35% fall in this stock. Stock went down by 30-40%, which is pretty all right for a high quality company which went up by 600-700%. It is pretty okay for that stock to then start consolidating after a 700% move. The stock, it is pretty okay for the stock to start consolidating. Then once this consolidation is over, we can see another meaningful upside for this stock. So the stock has been consolidating since 2015, and now we can see some sort of traction building up in this stock. So what you have to understand, if you look here, guys, this stock pretty much did nothing between 2008 and 2012. Obviously this fall came on the back of global financial crisis, but between 2008 and 2012 the stock has done nothing, right? So you have to take these things into consideration whenever you are investing in these kind of stocks. It's a cyclical sort of a company. So meaningful consolidation, after meaningful consolidation comes a huge upside. So this stock has been consolidating for the past 5-6 years now, and we can probably see a meaningful upside happening in this stock in the next 1 to 2 years. So once all of their capacities are running at full throttle, we can see some very meaningful upside. So if you want to do a long term investment in this company, you can go ahead and study it on a much deeper basis. Understand the cycles of the industry, understand the deeper nuances of the industry, and you can possibly make a long term investment in this company also. So if you see the past 10-year stock price CAGR has been 21%, which is fabulous. The sales has been growing at 15%. So these numbers are staggering, guys. So these sort of numbers are not reflected in all companies in India. So this goes to show that they've done very, very well. They've made a lot of money for investors also. So this was the analysis, guys. This was a bit lengthy. So yeah, so this is the analysis. Thanks a lot for watching. A quick disclaimer: this is an educational video, so this is not a buy sell recommendation. Please consult your financial advisor before buying or selling any shares. Thanks a lot, guys.